Hello everyone, it's me, the Real Local Maniac. I'm back again with another 8-Bit Wars. As you can see, today I'll be playing the classic arcade game by Atari, Paperboy. Now, I believe that is the version that I used to play, and if memory serves me right, there possibly was another arcade machine, but if I'm wrong, maybe one of you guys can tell me. Now, the name of this game is a big giveaway. It's called Paperboy, and your role in the game is you're a paperboy and you have to deliver the papers as a paperboy would. Now, I'm going to stick it in easy mode. Oh, I completely spoke over there, but it's got some really nice sampled speech that you can hear throughout the game. Now, I'll tell you one of the reasons why I love this game. It's got really nice looking graphics. They're very cartoony. It's the same sort of style that most Atari games used at the time. They stand out quite a lot, and I think they've aged pretty well. Now, the typical gameplay of this is really simple. Basically, you go from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. You have to deliver your papers, so that way your subscriptions don't get cancelled. It works sort of like on a Monday to Sunday, sort of like, normal week. You can also use your papers for other things, like you can break windows, you can hit people with them, and so on. But I think the main thing for me is the graphics. There's so many hidden little things. I wouldn't say they're hidden, but because I'm sort of like just dubbing this, I'm seeing it a lot more now rather than when I was playing it. All the little touches. I mean, sometimes you see people fighting, you see people breaking into houses, you see people doing break dances. I don't think this is the sort of game that I could sort of like talk and play at the same time as well as recording. So it'd be a lot worse than that. So I'm kind of glad I'm basically just dubbing it over. But you've got to give it though. The graphics are really nice, the music's really catchy. I do want you to take notice of the playing area, because the playing area is kind of large, yeah? Oh, look, there's that burglar I was telling you about, trying to break into the house. One of my other first memories of Paperboy generally is there used to be a kids TV show Saturday mornings. I don't know what the show was, and they played one of the conversions, whether it was the Commodore 64 or the Amstrad, and the whole point of the game was that you have to get from the beginning to the end of the level as fast as you could, and that was one of the highlights of the kids show that I used to watch. And it made me want to go out and sort of like play the arcade game and eventually get the conversions. The first conversion I actually played was the good old Specky. But like I said before, please check out the playing area on this arcade version, because it varies between the other versions. Yay, got to the end. Alrighty then. Now this is Paperboy on the good old Specky. It's a nice little sort of like newspaper clipping intro there, a bit of music there. But that's the last we hear of the music, because there is no more music after this. The in-game's actually got no music, and it's very limited in the actual sound effects, as you'll see. Now, as I mentioned before in the previous bit, the screen area is a lot smaller. The graphics are pretty nice though. Even though they only use two colours, which is the black and the light blue, they're still very detailed. You can tell what pretty much everything is. Now the only thing is though, I think this game is a little bit too easy. It's a lot easier than the actual arcade game. Now I'm not sure if I'm right though, but I don't think this actually ever got a 128K conversion, because I think it was before that time. It would have been nice to actually sort of like see a version with some nice music. But it stays pretty close to the actual arcade. It feels and looks and plays like the arcade game, minus the colour. If anything, I think the controls are really good in this. What was that? Did it say you've been slimed? Isn't that what Peter said in Ghostbusters? So overall, I wouldn't say this is a horrible conversion. I wouldn't say it's a Specky's best conversion. I think it was a good conversion for its time. if you're a big fan of the arcade game and you got this as a present from your mum and dad at the time, I think you would have been pleasantly happy. You know, you wouldn't have gone, what the hell is this? Well, you wouldn't really, because that would have been ungrateful. Yeah, this is probably like the easiest version out of the other two that I'll be playing. Okay, now this is Paperboy on the good old Amstrad. Now, I think the other Spectrum version was converted by Elite as well, so is this one. Now, Elite did loads of decent conversions. They did some great games. Just reading who it was written by and who the graphics are. Okay, begin this. Just sort out my keys. Those are the keys I used to use. What keys did you guys use, by the way? Just out of curiosity. For me it was 6 left, 7 right, 8 down, 9 up, and 0 for fire. That's what I normally used to use. I got used to actually playing with a keyboard a lot more in my computer. Anyway, this is the game on the Amstrad. Now, first thing you'll notice is the amount of colour. The colour, it's a really colourful game, and the graphics are fantastic. Now, fair enough, the playing area is a lot smaller, so it's a lot harder to see what's going on in advance. You can't see much of the road, which makes it a little bit more difficult. So, to be honest with you, I shouldn't actually even be on the road. I should actually be on the curb there on the side. You don't get to see like the houses, the whole houses, like you do in the arcade version. See what I mean there? I got run over by that beetle there. Was that a beetle? They were in the arcade. Now, I do love the animation on this version. The animation's really good on the actual Paperboy there. Look at his little head there, sort of pedaling away. Look at the wheels sort of turning there. It's really good. The only thing that doesn't do well actually is the lack of sound. Why hasn't it got any sound? You could at least have a few little sound effects or have a little bit of music. It's just completely silent. I've no idea why that is. Maybe they just worked a little bit too hard doing the graphics, because I mean the graphics are pretty good. The only problem is it's just the playing area is a little bit too small. But again, I think if you had got this conversion back in the days after playing the arcade game, you would have been really pleased with it, you know. Am I going to get run over? No. Didn't get run over. That wasn't a close one at all. But yeah, look, it's nice and colourful graphics. Everything does look cartoony. It's a little bit more difficult than the Spectrum version. Oh, the next version I'll be playing on the Commodore 64 is the most difficult version I've actually played, but I'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Now, I will be doing a few more 8-Bit Wars next month. I was going to just do the one, but you know what, I might just do 2 or 3. It's been a busy month this month, just all the things I've been doing. Alrighty then, this is Paperboy on the good old Commodore 64. Now, like I said in the Amstrad version, this is the most difficult version I've played. Now, this is all pre-recorded, and this is the best I've actually done. So it's not going to be a long footage of the Commodore 64 because I found this version really difficult. Now, the graphics are a little bit dull, with all the grey there, and the blue's not that great. The colours look really washed out. And that's what the problem I thought was the Commodore 64. I didn't like the colours very much. The music's pretty good though. And I just messed up there. Now, I don't know whether there was 2 versions of this, by the way, guys. Because for the Commodore 64, you normally got the US version and the European version. So I don't know if there, if there ever was a US version of this, because I think this was the Elite version. Anyway, guys, I'm dead. There you go. I killed the Paperboy. I'm the Rule Loco Maniac, and the winner is the Amstrad. See you next time. Goodbye.